So hey guys, this is Gypsy Vanner here, and today I want to do a review on controllers, which, I'm sorry for the video, but anyways, and the audio is going to sound a little bit off because I believe the mic is in the front, which I am not standing in the front. So anyways, let this review begin. So the first review I want to do is on the Wii controllers. Now, the Wii controller, the original one in general, I'm not really that big, my hands are just big, but anyways, is pretty slim. You like the color? Anyways, I actually got it used, if you guys really wanted to know. Pretty good, and like weight, and like you can hold it, it can pretty much keep in your hand, except if you're wheeling, and then, momentum, all that goes Wii into a friend, which poor Gothinator, or, into the TV. So then, you have the control here, you have the trigger B button here, and A, and you can pretty much move around, but unless you know the control very well, it's kind of hard to, like, okay, where's one, where's two? Oh, I'm starting up my game, I guess, the B button. But if you play like the N64 and you're just going into the Wii or whatever, or you know what I mean, with the Z button, then you're looking for A, B, but you don't realize that A's here, B's here. It can be a little bit hard, and then the plus and the minus, which is that, and again you have to look down. It's like, is plus minus here, 1, 2 here, something like that. Now, there's a few things that I have here that can go along with the Wii remote. I have the classic controller right here, which, it's pretty good. My other hand's using the other one. Like, it fits really well in your hand. You have that, and you can move around. When I first used it to play Mario 64 on the Wii, which I still want to record and show to you guys, which, I still have my 64, but the reason why I had to put the Mario 64 onto the Wii is because the cartridge actually stopped working, which, we played that thing so much that it finally quit. And also it's, 16 years old, and we got something like that. Anyways, I'm trying to remember the actual date. So anyways, you have this, you have the two, which one's the C, which I believe is this one, or that one, I forget now. I have to actually play to remember if that makes any sense whatsoever. And then the A, B buttons are right over here, and it's a pretty good controller. It's a little bit lightweight, and I don't really like how you actually have to, if you guys have never used no Wii before, you have to plug that end into this end, that end into this end. Same thing as this one, which, very simple controller. Again, I'm going over all the controllers, which include the ones that are attached, like we'll get into the handhelds after, which I wish I could find the original Game Boy that we have, but, it works. So with this one, it has the Z right here, and Z and the C, and then you have the joystick right here, which also is motion sensor, and I'm still, because you punch with the boxing, and which I actually do not own that game, I just know it. And you have this, same thing as this one, and plugs in the back. Again, I don't really like that concept where you have to have two controllers just to play one game. I do consider this a controller, so don't mind me. This should be a controller in itself. It should be similar to this one, but that is my own opinion. You guys can tell me later what your opinion is. So the next controllers I want to go on to is the Xbox controller, which is my favorite controller overall. I have used a Game Boy controller. Gothinator actually owns a not Game Boy, derp. A GameCube, which she actually owns. I've never gotten to, but Now, that one's a really good controller, I agree, but for this, it's basically just the controllers that I already own, which is why with the Wii I didn't show like the steering wheel and all that, which I never got to use. I think it's a really good concept, but you only use it for a few games, so that I kind of have a draw to. I get, like, with the classic controller, it's the same idea, but at least I play a lot more classic than driving games, which actually on the N64 I play, anyways, I'm continuing on with this. So, very good controller. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. It's light, but it's not too light. It's heavier than this, which I think this should be heavier too a little bit, but for what it does with the fact they have to do a lot of motions, this is actually a good way for this. But for this, just lounging on the couch or on your bed or whatever and playing video games, this is actually a pretty good controller. Like, it has really good on the side buttons, and the control sticks are good. I have to say that my palms do get sweaty with this, which I don't really care for sweaty palms, so that's the one big drawback about this controller in itself. But overall, I think it's really control. The fact that you can control the console with this button, then the two, and then you have the two joysticks, which also is buttons in itself. So, because try to do that to an N64 controller, you're not going anywhere. Now, for another Xbox controller, I have put this on here, the Kinect, which if you guys have never seen before is this. And it's a motion control. You use your body to use as the controller. Great concept. Problem is the area that you need this for is so big. I was trying to use this in my bedroom. Very small room. Didn't turn out very well, and I smashed myself into the bureau right behind me, and yeah, that really hurt. So, yeah, it is very good if you have a large space, a large empty space. It says to move things out of the way for a reason, which I couldn't really move anything out of the way in my bedroom, so that I have to draw that back. But overall, the system is really good. You can actually hack it, and you can do sort of funky things, which you can actually see on YouTube. I do not know how to do that. That's up to the experts to do, I guess. And also the people that do a lot of hacking and all that fun jazz. So the next one I want to do is handheld controls. And so there's one other one that I wanted to do, which we do own, which is the original Game Boy, as I said before. I was trying to look for it. I could not find it. That's why I cannot do it. But it is similar to this. The Game Boy, which one is this? Color or Advance? Advance, I believe. Advance, yeah. So, it's similar to this. Again, you're wondering why I'm doing this, because, it's not like that or that, but it's because it does have a control on it, which the downfall with these is if you're holding it like this, of course 2 hands, after a while of pushing these tiny flat buttons, your fingers start hurting, which you saw me crack my fingers, don't mind that. Start buttons, they're good to a point. The light right here. Here, let me actually turn this on. I can't really play a game with one hand, but I can at least show you. It's pretty good. Please don't mind the lines. So yeah. I can actually turn on the volume for you guys, I think. There you go. So yeah, we have like the controls are good for what they are, but They kind of hurt my fingers, but at least these are a lot softer than the next one I'm going to. So let me turn this off. The one I'm going to is actually the DS Lite, which, oh my goodness, it's not broken. This is the first game thing that I actually bought with my own money. Again, flat controls. This is old, so this button is a little bit more flexible, but hurts because especially my hands, if you guys can't tell, I have thin, fat fingers, small hand for what I have, so yeah, it's kind of hard. I can't talk today either, so like in here they have the stick, which the controller is also the touchpad, which I like. Sometimes, the touchpad kind of gets a little iffy, especially with games like Coraline and this one fashion designer game that I have, which, is not the most pleasant thing in the world, so I'm just going to leave that out. Let me talk more about this. Very, very small. Very, very small. If you use like a pencil, I guess it's alright. But I wish it was a little bit bigger, especially for my hands. This overall is pretty good weight, which I think weight really matters in controls. This altogether is really good. The original, which was heavier, I like the weight of, but again, the light is also pretty good too. It's a good, solid weight, which you guys are going, what? Oh yeah, and also because this is original, DS Lite, not DSi, I cannot record on this, so sorry guys. I'm hoping to get a DSi someday so that I can record on the DS. All that fun jazz. I know, not soon enough, but that's why I'm just working on PC, the Xbox, the Wii, and hopefully I can get the N64 to play, and I'm hoping to do Pokemon Stadium someday. Hoping. So anyways, that's good for the handheld. Okay guys, so the next ones are actually these right here, which, and this kinda. And you're wondering why they look so funky. What these are kind of newer dictionary, I don't know what to call them. But anyways, they're different controllers for the N64. Reason why I have these instead of the originals is because they all broke. Which I can actually give that rating already. Love the idea, which this is a good example of the original. It is not original, but it works. I love this idea. It's good to hold. I love how this part is really fat, so that you can hold on, you can play. The biggest thing I don't like about it is over here, it's like, can't really reach you. So you actually have to hold it like this to play like this, but then, and now I can't reach the controller stick. So I have to go back over here, and then, over here, and, and then you have the other hand. And, I can kind of reach over here, I guess, and go, but very uncomfortable. Yeah, I do like how the Z button is here. So very good concept. Good try. This, I have two of these. This one is my least favorite because, well, actually it is. It's the one that works the best. The difference is this has a very, very smaller joystick, which, depending on what you like, it feels awkward. It's wicked tall, and I'm trying to show the other one. There's so many. Compared to this one, which is more flatter, it's bigger, so you have more of this, especially when you're trying to spin Bowser and Mario 64, and you're like, On this one, it's like, okay, let's do Thumb of War with the joystick, and now spin it. Luckily, it's smaller, so that means less, but it feels really awkward. So, I have that one. I also have the similar one, which is this one. Same damn thing. So I feels a little bit better for whatever known reason. Trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know, it feels a lot better. Sorry, I have these out framed. Too much controller. So, you know, you can press start. You have reset, turbo, slow. Turbo kind of can screw up the game a little bit, which I do not like. I pressed it a few times, especially when you're like, blah. I'm trying to press start and all that fun jazz. This I like. You can just kind of press it to the sides. You can get in between. I like that part, but you don't really use that a lot in the N64 games, which, why did you put it there? I understand why, but why? Because I used a lot of the joystick. You have that. Again, you have two hands on this. I'm just trying to do with one. They still kept the trigger, which I like. Now, the other N64 controller, which I don't think a lot of you guys have seen before, is this one, which is the Super Pad 64 Plus, which they also have it without the plus, but anyways. So this one is kind of like the upgrade to becoming a, what do we call it, a GameCube controller. As you can tell, it has a lot of the properties. It's kind of similar in style to the Xbox a little bit, but more in relation to its next gen, which would be the I'm going to say Virtua Boy. Why? Why, Gypsy? Why? The GameCube. I'm really tired. Sorry, guys. So yeah, it has like slow, auto. This is my favorite controller. If I do the 64, this is the controller that I use. Really sturdy. I love the stick. They kept the stick. Sad part is they did keep that, but it's bigger, much easier to get to. You have up here. This is a little bit awkward without the trigger, but you know, you can, once you use it a little bit, you understand. I love how there's a groove here. It fits my hand really well. I just have to use my middle finger here. I go up here. All this fun jazz. Over here, really nice design. Again, I can't really show it very well. You can reach all the buttons you have over here. Very, very nice controller. So the next up over here is the PC games. Now, this is why this is actually for PC. Which you're going, what? Which this can be used for emulators. Which, I know, pirating, but anyways, now we don't talk about that. But, I think it's a very good controller, so I'm just putting this away very quick so that it can be out the way. This is a very good controller. It is lighter, has an area which I don't know if you can actually put something in there like a rumble pack, but, you know, it's much lighter than the other controllers over there. Like, very, very lightweight. It has the trigger. It works exactly like the original, which is awesome. Minus the fact that it's lighter. It's called RetroLink, so you can actually look this up online if you want to purchase it. Really, really good for emulators for old games. Which, if you guys want to, I can show you how to do that, how to set this up and all that fun jazz, which is actually very easy, which I do like about it. So that is part of the PC. You have a USB here and plugs in. At first, when I got it, I thought it was like a actual like mouse control, what you call it, a mouse for a computer. That's why I thought it was at first. But then I realized, sorry, I have to sit down, that it's actually for emulator, and that's when I actually started getting into emulators, and I stole this from my dad, which was his Christmas present. But anyways, so the other thing I wanted to go over was, sorry, I have to open this, sorry, get a good view of my kitchen, is the keyboard on a laptop. Now, I'm also going to go over the PC, I mean the regular mouse and keyboard, but first I want to go over this, which this laptop in particular, it's an HP, and I had a look, I'm like, yeah, which one is it? This is the one that I keep on complaining about, but again, we're just going over the controls. Keyboards, very slippery. I constantly miss the wrong key, over here, you know, when you're playing a game or whatever, like, it's good, fast, you know, you can do a lot. Good sturdy keys. Some keyboards I've seen, especially if they get played a lot, break in half. You know, they fall off and then you're stuck with this little bouncy thing and you're trying to press the keys. And so the laptop ones I don't really like. Also, it's like, okay, if it breaks you can't really replace it without replacing the whole laptop. We're spending a lot of money. Here I use these a lot. Typing, you know, certain things, especially in Visade, whatever you pronounce it. Sorry, I shook the camera. You know, it's easy. You can just sweep, but you have to take a lot of practice. Now for the mouse area, pad, depending on your fingers. My dad cannot actually use these, which, you know, especially with laptops now, not good. Now this part can break easily if I really tried. It hasn't on me yet. I use this thing a lot, so, which, you know, give or take. Here, like, you can move around. Here, it's hard to scroll, which again, you can't really see. But anyways, very good thing overall, but let me go and show you a regular desktop computer, keyboard and mouse. Okay, so we're over here, and I love this. You can see I use the space a lot. So, I know it's not all worn down, but that's because this is actually the home computer, so I'm not supposed to be using this for games, but guess what? It's the fastest and it's new, so whatever. It's not Windows 8 though. So here, you know, sorry, it's on, so of course it's going to be pressing buttons. So, you know, very easy to type. Shut up, computer. You know, this section all by itself is opposite. Let me see if I can get mostly the full thing. It's big, easy to type. You know, you can feel, oh, I'm going off the key. Okay, here's the next one. Especially when you're sliding across like I do a lot, I don't pick up and then put size, so it's good for my typing style. Mouse, the classic mouse, right over here. HP, very good brand. Sometimes, depending on what you get. You know, you have the scroll, you have the clicking. This one is not the ball one, it is the light sensory thing, so whatever you want to take on that. For me, it works pretty good. So, I think this is a pretty good controller. The other thing that I wanted to also review was the Virtual Boy, but I also could not find that. So it probably is having a party with the original Game Boy. You know how they do that all the time. So anyways, I was trying to look for that. Couldn't find it. Oh well. Not the end of the world. I wanted to say a few things about it. The controls suck. Like I remember, like the last time I played it, I was literally a baby little kid. So of course the controls kind of suck to me. Virtual Boy, I typed it. So really weird controls. It's thin on the sides. It has two together. It has the two what do you call it, the D-pad. Very awkward. Like it plays good for a controller, but overall I do not like it. So anyways. So yes guys, that is my review of the controllers. So my best controller overall, have to say, for the Xbox is this one. Sorry, Connect. For the N64, this one. Love this. For the Wii, I actually like this one better. For an off controller. This one I do like. But you have to use them together, so I can't really say or no, or because this one overall is the master controller. Can't say much over that. For the handhelds, the original, not, you know what I mean. The original one that I could not find is my favorite. It's big, it's chunky, it's awesome. You know, you don't hurt your fingers unless you play for hours. This, I play for 1 hour. Fingers are done, same thing with this one. Out of these two, I gotta say the Game Boy Advance is my favorite. Though I like the touchscreen, at least this one can work better and don't have to worry about screens. This one over here, my favorite controller has to be the desktop keyboard and mouse. For the emulators, I really like this one. I wanted to put it in there, but again, it's way too light for my comfort. So guys, that is my review of the controllers. Leave a comment below saying what controller is your favorite, and also subscribe and like this video if you want me to do another review. And guys, thanks for watching.